So here I am preparing hide glue for the first time. Never done this before. Watched several videos. Got a little nifty wax warmer. After seeing the videos that I seen, I kind of just did it by eye. And I made way too much to begin with. See, this is where I was like, oh, maybe it needs a little more. And I really didn't need any more. I think I actually edited it out, but I put in, I think, another spoonful because I felt like I put in too much water. So this is me just sifting it around. Trying to get all the water mixed into it. Yeah, and that's where I went with too much water. However, you could just let the water heat it, like, you know, from the heat, it would eventually just heat away. So this is me coming back, I believe, like 9 hours later. Some people say you should wait 24 hours. Some people say you should just wait an hour. So since I made too much of it, it can last up to a week in your fridge or in a refrigeration system. So I triple bagged it, and then got it ready to be stored away. Because I am going to eventually have to put down some more gold leaf on this painting, I assume. But I think I want to be able to start painting it first before I get back in with even more gold leaf, because I do like the way that some of the red came through it. So here I am heating up the wax warmer to 56 Celsius, and I believe that's 140 Fahrenheit, or close to it. You're not supposed to let it get over 140. So there, it's already liquefied after sitting in there for probably no more than 10 minutes. So this is where I get out the Bole. I was very excited to do this. For years now, I've been just painting frames with a dark reddish brown underneath the coat on the frames with just acrylic paint to get that effect when I did the washes, and also if gold leaf, wasn't fully being covered. Never knowing really the whole thing behind Bole. So after I stirred it a bit, just getting it off the palette knife. This, again, too, I made way too much for what I was doing. It would have been fine if I was covering a frame, but definitely made too much. I was actually happy that I didn't buy the bigger thing of Bole off of the website that I ordered it from. So I only got a small little bit, but that seems like it's going to last quite a while. So this is where I turned off the wax warmer, let it cool down a bit. And I think it's just pretty much warm at this point. So this is the same thing. I mean, there's a lot of videos that I watched and research that I did where it gave instructions of how much hide glue you're supposed to mix with the Bole, but they were making a lot more than what I was making in the tutorials or videos that I watched. So I'm just trying to thoroughly mix it. And this is where the fun begins. I didn't know what to expect at all with coverage. It's very thin though. I believe I did, I think 3 coats of it. And I believe you're not supposed to go back over certain areas until it's dry. So I tried to avoid that out through the process. And it went fairly quick. As much as it's thin, you can get a pretty good coverage. Like the way that it runs off the brush, I guess is more what I mean. So this is where this is actually where I ended up putting the bowl back into the heater, because what happened was that the glue started like coagulating, or whatever the word is, but it started gelling up and getting too thick. So I remembered seeing on videos that people were putting them in like pots of water, or like warm pots of water and stuff like that. So I ended up just turning down the heat extremely low and letting it heat up slightly, and every single time it seemed like it got a little too warm, I would just turn it off again. I'm sure there's got to be a better system, or just work faster. So this is the second coat that I was putting on. I didn't realize how rosy pinkish it was gonna be. I thought it would have been more redder. I guess if you apply more and more coats, the darker it gets. So what am I doing here? Oh, this is where I'm making the gilding water. So this is the next day. I didn't put this in the fridge. I just figured it would be fine. So the hide glue got all like hard, not hard, but like gel, like Jello. It was kind of like a Jello, a little bit harder than Jello. So I had a warm cup of water, applied it into the warm cup of water. I seen other people using alcohol as well I think it helps the curing of it. So I mixed that in. And this again was all by eye, because everything that I watched was much bigger portions that people were making, and I didn't want to be overly wasteful. So, and this first time around too, I don't think I put enough glue in, because it seemed like it wasn't sticking as well as it should have. Oh, this is where the nightmare begins. I forgot. I mean, it's been probably 25 years since I've used real gold before, or I mean since I used real gold last, and it is so fragile and so delicate, and if you look at it the wrong way, it's a mess. And we're gonna see that real quick. Now, here's where I was all proud of myself, because I was like, oh, look at me go. I get the whole sheet down. Look at that. I'm, thinking to myself, oh, this is going great. I'm gonna master this. I'm a professional. As we're gonna see right now, didn't work out so well. Uh-oh. No good. It's stuck to the knife. This is where I'm saying, what do I do? This is where I just want to give up. So, look at the knife with the gold all over it, balled up. The other thing I did too is I didn't buy a gilder's knife, because I figured I had that big painter's knife, and I figured it would work just the same, because I assumed that those gilder's knives aren't sharp. I thought they were just like a dull metal blade, because again, the gold leaf is so fragile. If you haven't used it before, it's incredibly fragile. It's like 5 times thinner as the imitation gold leaf. Or at least it feels that way. It's definitely way thinner though. I mean, if you put it in your fingers, it just absolutely disintegrates. So what I assume happens is that when you put down the gilding water, that ends up being a little sticky, and then it reactivates as well the bold that also has hide glue inside of it. Look at how, just putting on like balls of gold leaf instead of flat pieces of leaf. Now at the end of the day, when you put it down, look, it's embarrassing. So at the end of the day, when you end up brushing away the gold and everything else, it just, it's fine. But I probably, just say a pack of 25 sheets is roughly, I believe, $40. I probably wasted about $20. I would have been better off just taking a whole sheet at once and covering that whole halo with 4 sheets, and I probably would have wasted a lot less. Sometimes they just did not want to come off the paper. There was one where I got it down perfect like that, and then I blew on it to flatten it out, and it just balled up into nothing. Look at that again. Oh, stuck to the knife. And I cleaned the knife. There was completely dry. Paper towel. Just nothing was on it at all. So I will definitely be picking up a gilder's knife. I gotta figure out where I can get one. So try to find one online, but I found a couple places, but they look like kind of like shady websites. So and it was fun using I guess it's a gilder's brush, or it's the first time ever using one of those. Well, actually, when I was working the sign company, I used one before, but the way you charge them with just rubbing them on your forehead or your arm, getting the static electricity, just picks right up the gold leaf, no problem. And doing my best not to touch any of the glue that I put down with the brush, because they're not super cheap. So this is the first time that I actually used the stones to I forget the proper word for it, but the stones to burnish the burnish the gold leaf. And what I found, which I didn't know before until I bought these and I tried it on imitation gold, you can't burnish fake gold leaf. So when you're able to do it, it's just so beautiful, and it looks like liquid gold. It's kind of hard to see here, but it's just so beautiful. And then the other thing that happens is that with all the detail that you do from the laying down the I'm gonna mess up this word again, the prestige anyways, the gesso that I put down, it makes all those details come out. So I definitely noticed some areas where I'm going to have to get back in, but I wanted to start painting because I did really like the brown. But anyways, thank you so much, everybody, for watching, and more soon.